Hello everyone, Red Lip here. Las Vegas, where buffets once ruled the Strip with their endless rows of heat lamps and questionable quality, now face extinction faster than a tourist's bankroll at the blackjack table. But wait, what if I told you there's a new player in town that's completely flipping the script on what an all-you-can-eat experience can be? For just $19.95, you can feast on made-to-order comfort food that would make your grandmother weep with joy. And I'm not talking about tears of disappointment. We've spent our hard-earned money testing this controversial new spot, so you don't have to waste yours on another Vegas disappointment. Here's the million-dollar question. Is Guy Fieri's Flavor Town the resurrection of affordable strip dining? Or just another celebrity chef cash grab wrapped in donkey sauce and catchphrases? Today, we're diving fork first into one of Vegas's most controversial new dining experiences, Guy Fieri's Flavor Town All-You-Can-Eat Brunch. Operating daily from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at just $19.95, this isn't your typical Vegas buffet with warming trays and sneeze guards. Everything here is made to order, served hot, and, here's the kicker, actually delicious. Now, I almost made the catastrophic mistake of skipping this place entirely based on what other influencers were saying. But as someone who spent years running kitchens and knows the difference between a rough opening and genuine mediocrity, I had to investigate myself. What I discovered will completely change your perspective on affordable strip dining. Let me be crystal clear. The Flavor Town you're visiting today is not the same restaurant that opened a month ago. The chef himself confirmed they had a rocky start, something that happens to even the best restaurants. But they've since transformed their operation into something remarkable, the Brisket Mac Attack. The moment you walk through those doors, the intoxicating aroma of slow-smoked barbecue hits you like a heavyweight champion. It's that deep, primal smoke scent that triggers something ancient in your brain. The same feeling our ancestors had discovering fire-cooked meat. This brisket mac and cheese isn't just comfort food. It's a masterclass in texture contrast and flavor layering. The brisket itself has been babied for hours until it reaches that magical point where it practically dissolves on your tongue. Texture-wise, we're talking about meat so tender it falls apart at the gentlest touch of your fork, yet maintains enough structure to deliver that satisfying chew. Aroma fills your sinuses with notes of oak smoke, caramelized beef, and that unmistakable barbecue sweetness that defines great American pit cooking. Seasoning here isn't an afterthought. There's a complex rub working beneath that gorgeous bark, hitting you with black pepper, paprika, and what I detect as a hint of coffee grounds. Technique shows in every strand of meat. This is low and slow Texas-style smoking done right. Not some liquid smoke shortcut you'd find at lesser establishments. Emotion? This takes me straight back to those legendary Texas roadside joints where pitmasters wake up at 3 a.m. to tend their fires. It's the kind of dish that makes you close your eyes on the first bite and forget you're in a casino. The mac and cheese deserves its own moment of glory here. Unlike the mushy, overcooked pasta swimming in processed cheese you'll find at most Vegas buffets, this features perfectly al dente macaroni in a sauce that would make any Italian grandmother secretly proud. The cheese sauce achieves that holy grail of creaminess without becoming gluey or artificial. It's rich, velvety, and clings to each piece of pasta like it was meant to be there. Those crispy onion rings on top aren't just garnish. They're the textural counterpoint that elevates this from good to exceptional. And that bourbon brown sugar barbecue sauce? Sweet enough to balance the smoke, tangy enough to cut through the richness, with a complexity that reveals new notes with each bite. Vanilla, molasses, apple cider vinegar, and yes, actual bourbon. At $19.95 for all you can eat, this single dish justifies the entire price of admission. Compare this to the $18 single serving of inferior mac and cheese at Gordon Ramsay's pub just down the strip, and you'll understand why Flavor Town is about to become your new obsession. The Caesar that time forgot. After one bite of their classic Caesar, I had to double-check I hadn't been transported back to 1920s Tijuana. This isn't the bastardized Vegas version, drowning in bottled dressing and pre-shredded Parmesan that plagues 90% of strip restaurants. Those Parmesan crisps standing tall like golden sentinels? They're hand-formed, baked until they achieve that perfect balance of nutty and sharp, with a texture that shatters dramatically before melting on your tongue. The romaine is properly chilled and crisp. Not wilted, not frozen, but that perfect temperature that makes each bite refreshing rather than soggy. House-made croutons bring legitimate crunch and a hint of garlic, toasted in real butter until they're golden brown throughout, not just on the surface. Here's where it gets interesting. They're using actual anchovies in this dressing, not just Worcestershire sauce and calling it a day. You can taste that funky, salty depth that defines a true Caesar, balanced with fresh lemon juice, raw garlic, and quality olive oil. Exter delivers that essential contrast. Crisp lettuce, crunchy croutons, creamy dressing, and those shatteringly delicate Parmesan crisps. Aroma hits you with garlic and aged cheese before you even take a bite, promising flavor that the taste absolutely delivers on. Seasoning is assertive but balanced. You get the salt from the anchovies and Parmesan, acid from the lemon, and that garlicky punch that makes your breath terrible and your taste buds sing. Technique shows in the emulsification of the dressing. It clings to every leaf without pooling at the bottom of the bowl. Emotion transports me to those high-end steakhouses where they'd prepare Caesar tableside with all the theater and flair. Except here, you're getting it for a fraction of the price. And, dare I say it, with superior execution. This Caesar would cost you $16 at Caesar's Palace. Ironic, right? And theirs doesn't even come close to this level of authenticity. When a 1995 all-you-can-eat place is out-Caesaring the casino that shares the salad's name, you know something special is happening. The Garden Surprise. Now, I know what you're thinking. Who orders a garden salad at an all-you-can-eat comfort food palace? But this salad challenged every preconception I had about what Flavortown represents. The dressing is a bright, acidic red wine vinaigrette that acts like a reset button for your palate. After the richness of the brisket mac, this cleanses your taste buds with the efficiency of a sommelier's sorbet course. But the real stars here are those crispy garbanzo beans, roasted until they achieve that addictive crunch, somewhere between a corn nut and a wasabi pea. They're seasoned aggressively with what tastes like smoked paprika, cumin, and a hint of cayenne. The vegetables aren't an afterthought either. Fresh tomatoes that actually taste like tomatoes. Purple cabbage adding color and crunch. Red onions with just enough bite. And then there's the genius touch. Cucumber wheels with their edges kissed by tahini. That Mexican seasoning blend of chili, lime, and salt transforms humble cucumber into something crave-worthy. It's the kind of simple but brilliant move that separates good cooks from great ones. You could pay $14 for a similar artisan salad at Tender Steak and Seafood at Luxor and not get half this creativity. This proves that yes, you absolutely can win friends with salad. Sorry, Homer Simpson, but you had it all wrong. The Katsu Revelation. Upcharge worth every penny. When this chicken katsu sandwich arrived, I'll admit my first thought was, this won't win any beauty contests. But in Vegas, we should know better than anyone that looks can be deceiving. Just ask anyone who's seen a showgirl without her stage makeup. The brioche bun, likely baked in-house that morning, brings a subtle sweetness and pillowy texture that premium burger joints charge $20 for. It's sturdy enough to contain this monster sandwich, yet soft enough to compress with each bite. That katsu chicken? Pounded thin, brined for tenderness, then coated in panko and fried to absolute perfection. Exter achieves that impossible dream. A crust so crispy it audibly crunches, protecting meat so juicy it threatens to run down your chin. Aroma combines the nuttiness of perfectly fried panko with the sweet savory notes of what they call funky dust. And I'm detecting bacon in that mysterious blend. Seasoning goes beyond basic salt and pepper. There's umami depth here, likely from MSG or mushroom powder, plus that smoky bacon element adding another layer. Technique shows in the even golden color and the fact that there's zero grease pooling on the plate. This is professional frying at its finest. Emotion takes me to those late-night Tokyo convenience stores where chicken katsu sandwiches are elevated to an art form. Except this version adds distinctly American touches that somehow make perfect sense. The spicy Kewpie mayo brings creamy heat without overwhelming the chicken, while the Asian slaw adds necessary freshness and crunch. It's fusion done right. Not confusion cuisine, but a thoughtful marriage of flavors that enhances rather than masks. This sandwich alone would run you $18 at Cassie Beach House or Secret Pizza. Here, it's a reasonable upcharge that's worth every cent. The avocado toast redemption. Let me address the elephant in the room. Yes, we're talking about avocado toast in 2024. But before you roll your eyes and mutter something about millennials and homeownership, hear me out. The brioche here might actually be too rich for this application. It's like wearing a tuxedo to a beach party. The avocado spread itself starts off pedestrian, lacking the punch you'd expect from a Guy Fieri joint. But then, and this is crucial, you add those pickled jalapenos and onions. Suddenly, the dish transforms faster than a Vegas wedding chapel transaction. The pickles bring necessary acid to cut through all that buttery richness, while the jalapenos add a vinegar heat that makes everything pop. It's a lesson in balance that many higher-end places could learn from. Would I order this over the other options here? Probably not, especially at these portion sizes that could defeat a hungry linebacker. But if you're an avocado toast devotee, this version at least brings something interesting to the party. Just remember, those pickled vegetables aren't optional garnish. They're essential components. The breakfast foundation. The breakfast platter might seem basic. Bacon, sausage, scrambled eggs, potatoes, but execution elevates it beyond typical hotel breakfast buffet sadness. The bacon achieves that perfect balance of crispy edges and chewy center that most places can't manage at scale. Sausage links bring genuine flavor. You can taste actual pork and spices, not just salt and filler. The scrambled eggs stay creamy and soft, likely finished with butter off the heat, rather than left to rubberize under a heat lamp. Those potatoes deserve special recognition. They're treated with the same respect you'd find at Hash House A Go-Go. Crispy exteriors giving way to fluffy interiors, aggressively seasoned with paprika and black pepper. For $19.95, all you can eat. This breakfast spread embarrasses the $32 continental breakfast at Aria. It's proof that simple food done right beats fancy food done poorly every time. The chicken and waffles triumph. Some dishes define a restaurant, and these chicken and waffles might just be Flavortown's signature masterpiece. The chicken has clearly been brined. You can tell by how the seasoning penetrates deep into the meat, not just sitting on the surface. Exter delivers that holy grail of fried chicken. A crust that shatters like glass, revealing meat so moist it seems impossible. Aroma fills your nostrils with buttermilk tang, black pepper, and that distinctive smell of chicken fried in clean, hot oil. Seasoning shows restraint and confidence. Salt, pepper, cayenne, and what might be buttermilk powder, creating complexity without overwhelming the chicken itself. Technique reveals itself in the even browning and the complete absence of grease. This is pressure frying, or a perfectly controlled deep fryer at work. Emotion catapults me back to my grandmother's kitchen in the South, where fried chicken was a Sunday sacrament. This matches the quality of my own restaurant's famous recipe. And trust me, that's not praise I give lightly. The waffles incorporate jalapeno and cheddar directly into the batter, not sprinkled on top as an afterthought. Every bite delivers a subtle heat wave, followed by creamy cheese notes that complement rather than compete with the chicken. Those pickled jalapenos and red onions on the side aren't just garnish. They're palate cleansers between bites of richness. It's the kind of thoughtful touch that shows someone in that kitchen genuinely cares about the complete eating experience. At Morton's The Steakhouse, their chicken and waffles runs $28 for a smaller portion. Here, you're getting superior quality as part of your $19.95 all-you-can-eat experience. The math doesn't lie. The biscuits and gravy vindication. When other influencers called these biscuits and gravy flavorless, I wondered if we visited parallel dimensions. Because what sits before me is one of the most aggressively flavored, unapologetically indulgent versions I've encountered in Vegas. The gravy alone deserves a standing ovation. Rich, creamy, and packed with enough black pepper to make you sneeze from across the room. There's crumbled bacon throughout, plus what I'm detecting as jalapeno. Fieri's not-so-secret weapon, apparently. Extra contrasts between the crispy bacon bits, silky gravy, and those cloud-like biscuits create a symphony in your mouth. Aroma wafts up with sage sausage, black pepper, and butter. It's basically breakfast porn for your nose. Seasoning is bold, to the point of aggression. This isn't polite tea room gravy, but something that punches you in the face with flavor. Technique shows in the gravy's consistency. Thick enough to coat, but not so heavy it becomes paste, with no lumps or flour taste. Emotion transports me to those truck stop diners at 3 a.m. where biscuits and gravy can literally save your life. This is comfort food that doesn't apologize for what it is. Caloric, indulgent, and absolutely magnificent. The biscuits themselves are textbook Southern. Buttermilk tang, layers that peel apart in sheets, crispy exterior, pillowy interior. They're light enough that the gravy doesn't turn them into soggy mush, yet substantial enough to hold up under that blanket of decadence. I've paid $16 for inferior biscuits and gravy at Eat by Summerlin, where they use instant gravy mix. I can taste the difference. Here, everything is scratch-made, with actual love, not just labor. Our server Lexi kept trying to convince me to order another round, and honestly, she didn't have to try very hard. This is the dish I'll dream about tonight and order doubles of tomorrow. The Dragon's Breath Chili Controversy. As someone who's won multiple chili cook-offs in Malibu, yes, that's a thing, I approached this Dragon's Breath chili with the skepticism of a purist. Traditional Texas chili has no beans. It's meat, chilies, and attitude. Nothing more. But Flavortown's version makes me reconsider my rigid stance. The base combines beef and Italian sausage with massive chunks of pork that make each spoonful a treasure hunt. Extra plays between tender meat, slight bean resistance, and those crispy jalapeno garnishes, adding necessary crunch. Aroma rises with cumin, smoked paprika, and that distinctive chili powder blend that defines American comfort food. Seasoning walks that tightrope between flavorful and painful. It's got heat, but not the kind that ruins your palate for everything else. Technique shows in the long simmer. Flavors have clearly married over hours, not minutes. Emotion reminds me why chili cook-offs become borderline religious experiences for participants and judges alike. This might not win Interlingua, but it would absolutely dominate in Vegas. The cornbread alongside could win awards on its own. Slightly sweet, loaded with actual corn kernels, jalapenos providing surprise heat pockets. It's moist without being gummy, crispy-edged without being dry, achieving that perfect cornbread balance most places miss. Hidden beneath are dollops of sour cream that provide cooling relief between spoonfuls of fire. The fresh, crispy onions on top aren't just garnish, but essential textural contrast. This chili alone would cost you $14 at Bobby's Burger Palace, and theirs doesn't come close to this complexity. Factor in the exceptional cornbread, and this becomes another Flavortown triumph. The steak and egg steal. $10 upcharge. For a $10 upcharge, this 7-ounce sirloin makes a mockery of every overpriced strip steakhouse. I was at a celebrated venue just yesterday where their 14-ounce New York strip was barely larger and exponentially more expensive. The char on this steak is pornographic. Deep, dark, crispy in all the right places. I ordered rare and got exactly that. Cool red center, warm throughout, perfectly executed. Extra gives you that satisfying chew of proper beef without being tough. This is quality meat, properly aged. Aroma combines char, beef fat, and enough garlic to ward off vampires for a week. Seasoning is aggressive. Coarse salt, cracked black pepper, garlic, and what might be MSG for extra umami depth. Technique shows in the even sear and proper resting. No juices flooding the plate. Everything retained in the meat. Emotion takes me to those legendary Vegas steakhouses of the past, before corporate ownership turned them into expensive disappointments. This is honest steak, cooked by people who understand that fat equals flavor. The potatoes deserve their own paragraph. Impossibly crispy, seasoned with enough paprika to turn them sunset orange. They're not an afterthought, but a worthy companion to the beef. The egg, simple as it seems, is perfectly executed. Butter-basted, runny yolk, whites just set. It's the kind of attention to detail that separates good restaurants from great ones. At Peter Luger's at Caesars, you'd pay $65 for a similar portion of inferior beef. This $10 upcharge is highway robbery. In reverse, the verdict. Flavortown has achieved something I thought impossible in modern Vegas. Genuine value without sacrificing quality. This isn't nostalgia bait trading on Guy Fieri's celebrity. It's legitimate comfort food executed at a shockingly high level. For $19.95, you're getting made-to-order dishes that embarrass restaurants charging 3 times as much. The portions are American-sized. The flavors are bold without being cartoonish, and the technique shows actual culinary training. Those early negative reviews? Either those influencers hit Flavortown during their admittedly rocky opening month, or they've lost their ability to recognize good food. Because what I experienced today was nothing short of remarkable. A restoration of what made Vegas dining special before corporate greed destroyed it. Every single dish, from the transcendent biscuits and gravy to the perfect Caesar salad, showed care and attention you simply don't expect at this price point. Here's my bottom line for different diners. Budget-conscious visitors, this is your holy grail, delivering maximum flavor and value for minimal investment. Comfort food addicts, you'll find your new church here, with services held daily from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Skip the overpriced hotel breakfasts and make this your morning destination. Food snobs who think Guy Fieri is a punchline. Swallow your pride and prepare to eat crow after you finish the brisket mac. This is legitimate cooking that happens to come with catchphrases. Families with diverse tastes. The made-to-order format means everyone gets exactly what they want, hot and fresh. No more fighting over the last piece of decent bacon at a traditional buffet. The upcharge items are absolutely worth it. That $10 steak embarrasses cuts costing 5 times as much elsewhere. Come hungry, come often, and come with an open mind. The strategic approach. Here's how to maximize your Flavortown experience. Arrive at 9 a.m. sharp for the freshest prep and most attentive service. Start with the classic Caesar. That vinegar-forward dressing preps your palate for the richness ahead. Order the brisket mac and biscuits with gravy simultaneously. Both deserve to be eaten at peak temperature. Use the garden salad as a mid-meal palate cleanser when the richness threatens to overwhelm. Save the chicken and waffles for your second wave. It's substantial enough to be a finale. If you're adding upcharge items, the steak and eggs delivers the most value. The chicken katsu sandwich is exceptional, but enormous. Share it or take half home. Don't skip the Dragon's Breath chili just because it's not traditional. That cornbread alone justifies ordering it. And whatever you do, don't leave without trying those biscuits and gravy that other reviewers inexplicably missed. The resurrection. Flavortown represents something bigger than just another celebrity restaurant. It's the return of democratic dining on the Strip. In an era where a basic breakfast can cost $50 and mediocre buffets charge $80, this $19.95 rebellion feels revolutionary. The quality here embarrasses places charging premium prices for inferior food. When Guy Fieri's Tourist Trap delivers better biscuits than your boutique brunch spot, it's time to reconsider everything. This isn't about lowered expectations or grading on a curve. The food here would be impressive at any price point. The fact that it's affordable just adds insult to the competition's injury. I predict Flavortown will force other properties to reconsider their pricing strategies. You can't charge $30 for Eggs Benedict when Fieri's crew is serving legitimate comfort food for $19.95. For too long, Vegas has treated visitors like ATMs with taste buds. Flavortown reminds us that great food doesn't require a second mortgage. The final word. I came to Flavortown skeptical, influenced by negative reviews and my own prejudices about celebrity chef restaurants. I left convinced this might be the most important restaurant opening on the Strip in years. Not because it's revolutionary or refined, but because it's honest. Honest food, honest portions, honest prices. 3 things Vegas forgot existed. Every dish we tried ranged from very good to exceptional. The service, led by the delightful Lexi, was warm and genuine without being scripted. The atmosphere captures Fieri's enthusiasm without descending into parody. Most importantly, the value proposition is so strong, it feels like stealing. This is the Vegas dining deal we've been searching for since corporations killed the classic buffets. It's accessible luxury, democratic indulgence, and proof that good food doesn't require trust fund prices. My fellow food lovers, this is one bet in Vegas you're guaranteed to win. Flavortown isn't just good for the price, it's good, period. We'll definitely be back. Probably tomorrow for those biscuits and gravy. And when we return, we'll explore the dinner menu, which promises even more revelations. Until we eat again, this is Red Lip saying, forget the haters, trust your gut, and give Flavortown a shot. You'll thank me later when you're drowning in that bourbon brown sugar barbecue sauce, wondering why you ever doubted Guy Fieri's vision. Don't forget to tell them Red Lip sent you. Not for a discount, but so they know the truth is finally getting out there. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next Vegas food adventure. Like, subscribe, and share this with anyone planning a Vegas trip who's tired of being fleeced for mediocre meals. And remember, at Flavortown, you're not just eating, you're winning. Until next time, Vegas food lovers, keep eating, keep exploring, and keep demanding better. This is Red Lip, signing off from Flavortown, where the flavor is real and the value is unreal.